Talking Sex Live with Chet and Diane is recorded in front of a live audience. This show is for mature audiences only. Hello, you are Talking Sex Live with Chet and Diane. I am Chet.
I'm Diane.
And we are unlicensed sex therapists here to share our knowledge with the world. We haven't gotten any official schooling for this. We just have a couple who've had a lot of sex, and we want to share our knowledge with the world and answer questions from callers and from anyone who happens to message us on Caffeine, because we are live on Caffeine right now. We're also recording for YouTube and also for different podcast sites as well. We are joined by our producer, Wells. How are you doing tonight, Wells?
I'm very well. How are you guys doing?
We're okay.
I feel like there's something that needs to be addressed
with us or with
after
you?
Our last show.
Oh, okay.
You see, people may not know this, but Chet and I have been friends for years before he hired me to do this show 2.5 years ago. And many times Chet has been too tired to hang out or too tired to work out with his buddy Wells. And now, after this last show, I feel like we've discovered why that is. And that is that Chet has a daily 45-minute pussy eating regimen.
Yep, that is correct.
That it has foreplay to the foreplay. No wonder you're so tired all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Also, the pussy eating is the foreplay. You don't have to do 7 minutes of foreplay before that. So
no, exactly.
I just thought, okay, congratulations to your partners. Congratulations.
Well, it doesn't really always do that.
I'm sure Diane is very happy.
So, in case you missed it, on our last show, we were answering some questions from emails, and I believe it was Phil E. from Philly. His girlfriend his girlfriend wanted him to go down on her, and he wanted some techniques, and so I laid out my techniques on how to give cunnilingus to your partner. And so I explained in great detail about this, but Wells disagreed. So I do believe that...
I don't know that I disagree. I just have things to do.
Exactly.
But how is that not one of the things?
Yeah, so let me introduce you to Peter. He is our sex toy expert, also polyamory expert. He has multiple partners and has sex with a lot of friends and partners.
Absolutely.
And so
And how do you think I keep them so happy?
Yeah, we're of a good follow. I feel I need to make Diane climax first before I actually.
Yeah, I do that too, but I don't need to
just
take
with
an
my
hour
mouth, with my mouth, and it's all about a process. I think that oral sex isn't just foreplay; it is actual sex. The sex encompasses everything involving intimacy between two or multiple people. So if you want to use it just for foreplay, then that's fine. But also, it's
I didn't. You're putting words in my mouth.
Okay,
I didn't
sorry.
say that.
Go ahead. What were you saying there?
I've used it as a sexual act. The whole routine that you put together is just quite extensive. And I mean, when you add it up, you must have spent like over 1,000 hours of your life just performing cunnilingus.
And that's great.
I feel like you say that like it's a bad thing.
I mean, that's what I choose to do. That's something that I enjoy.
You must be a master at it.
Well, I mean, my jaw muscles have gotten stronger over time. My face used to be really thin and skinny, and now it's the muscles
more
down
developed.
here are very strong. Wells, I don't think we heard from Peter about this. We heard my take and we heard Peter's take. We had Dr. Bex on last time, she gave a very good answer as well. It's just her answer as whatever your partner.
That's usually the right answer.
Yeah, whatever your partner wants is like ask your partner and what they enjoy, and then that's what you should do. But Peter, do you have some techniques?
I think that the techniques come down to it's always about just listening to your partner. I think it's important to know what your partner wants to actively ask them, but also listen. And it's not just listening, but there's subtlety in it. You'll feel muscles tense, you'll feel legs move, you'll feel your partner's pelvis raised toward you at certain moments, the rhythm of their body change. It's it's almost like being one with nature, but it's being one with your partner's body and reading their signals, and then just working with exactly what it is that they want. So it's a matter of finding some variety in those moments, working your way, trying something different each time, being willing to immediately stop what it was if you sense that it's not working for your partner, and go back to something you know works, and find something that person likes. I mean, and each person's different. I've gone from someone who liked very specific things. Maybe it was much more direct clitoral stimulation or working in circles around it, and then the next person does not want that at all, and maybe wants maybe working your way down from above the clitoral hood over the clitoral hood, so you never directly touch the clitoris, because for that person the direct sensation is too sensitive. um, some like barely any involvement at all. Maybe you're working with what we now know is essentially the internal clitoris. You can work your way around and put pressure on the outside of the labia into where the clitoris is, and works its way around the labia. And all sorts of techniques that oftentimes aren't direct at all. Maybe it's just working the thighs or something
Or usually
to build
the
them
neck.
up.
When I'm with a woman, I'll kiss her neck
Sure.
and her lips,
Yeah,
and then
it's
I'll
all
work
about
my way down to her thigh.
so it's all about the erogenous zones. What you enjoy the most.
But every woman's different. I mean, I've been with some that have come 5 minutes. Some I can give multiple orgasms to. And there's this one, my ex-girlfriend really came a lot. She was fun.
So this is a fun conversation, and we could probably talk about this for a full hour. But we do have some callers coming in, I believe.
Yes, we have Daryl, and he has a question about gender.
All right, Daryl, you are talking Sex Live with Chet and Diane. I am Chet.
I'm Diane.
And what can we help you with here?
Yes, this is Janet.
Oh, Janet. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Sorry about that. Janet, what can we help you with here?
My husband of 46 years just told me he's leaving me for a younger woman.
Oh, my goodness. I am so sorry.
That's so
well, Janet, so are you, do you want to try, this is devastating news. I hope that you're okay with.
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah. So what was? I don't know. Diane, do you want to go ahead and handle this here?
Well, how do you feel about that? Are you happy that he's? I mean, some women are like, "Get the hell out! I'm done with you."
I mean, I've never really cared one way or another about his affairs, but for this time, he actually fell in love with her. She's 26.
Okay.
She's 20 fucking 6.
Okay.
That's pretty young.
So
he could be having a midlife crisis too.
How old is your
husband? He might be.
How old is your husband?
Oh, he's 65.
Oh.
He recently retired. He went on a ski trip. He brought along his secretary. They fell in love.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, I guess this is up to you. Do you want to get a divorce, or do you want to go ahead and try to work this out with him?
Well, here's my problem, Chet and Diane. If I get a divorce, I'm only entitled to half. Now, let me tell you, I raised 3 children. I'm home now, sitting here with them. They all live here. They don't do anything.
Okay, how old are your children?
I don't know. Well, the oldest is 35.
Oh, okay.
He's my pride and joy, Brett
All right.
Jr. He's just absolutely amazing.
Okay.
35, 34, 33.
Okay,
Irish
wow.
twins, 3
Wow.
times.
Okay. Well, do you mind if I ask what state you're living in?
We're in Maryland.
Maryland.
It's a little
Okay.
late out here.
I don't know the laws in Maryland, but I do know in California that if you're not working and he's working and he made money, and you are entitled to alimony. If he gets like a retirement pay, you are entitled to some of that money as well as half of all of your assets that you obtained during the marriage. So,
Right, can I be frank with you?
yeah, go ahead.
All right. I think I really just wanted someone dead.
Well, figuratively, but not literally. I mean, that's a serious crime, and you're.
I mean, there's got to be something we can do here, right?
Well, if you're talking about murdering him, I would say that's not all right. That's not the route to go.
No, not at all.
I mean, it's not murder if he dies in his sleep, right?
Well, if something that
Depends
you
on what
did,
kills him.
yeah, if something that you did that made him die, then yes, that's considered murder. I mean, is it something? I don't even want to get into details here. Sorry.
All right, but say I just slip a little something in his drink and he has a heart attack. That's not really murder, is it?
No. Well, yes,
Yeah,
it
I would
is.
say so, because
Yeah,
you're
it's still
responsible for that.
and also like a lot of, elderly or just anyone who has some type of heart medication. If you prohibitively replace that heart medication, any intent. I mean, that's first degree murder. No, right, third degree murder. Is that right? Wells.
Oh, great idea, Chet. That's a great idea.
No.
If it's predetermined,
Premeditated.
Yeah.
premeditated,
That's
then
first
it's
degree.
First degree.
First degree. That's right. I get him.
I don't understand. No. You guys are not helping me.
Yeah.
I mean, Lorena Bobbitt got away with it. Come
No,
on.
well,
She got arrested.
she got-
It wasn't
she-
murder for one thing.
yeah. She cut off a penis.
It was sewn back on,
But
and she
now
didn't
he
get away
does
with it.
porn.
Ugh, what I would give to cut off his penis.
No. So your safest bet is just to file for divorce. If you don't want to try to work this marriage out, you need to just go ahead and try and just say I want a divorce, and then have a good lawyer, and I can guarantee you that lawyer will get you a lot of money. As for your children, who are there, who are 33, 34,
Oh, my pride and
35,
joy.
yes, you need to tell them to get a job and or start paying rent. That's just how things are when you live as an adult. So
Maybe
so it
this
was
could be
amicable.
an opportunity for you to divorce him, take half his money, and then get back into the dating world again, and maybe you'll find someone who won't cheat on you.
yeah,
Wouldn't that be nice?
Wells is actually he's very versed in the whole dating situation.
Wells is single too, by
Yeah,
the way.
yeah, exactly. We have a policy where we don't date anybody who calls in, but I don't know about Wells's policy.
Yeah, Wells is getting back out there.
Well, I mean, I don't have a policy against it, but when someone is talking about murder, I kind of have a policy against
Okay,
that.
doesn't want to. Yeah.
So,
She's
Yeah.
just angry right now.
Well, I didn't quite say murder. I just, my head's spinning a little bit. 3 sheets to the wind. I'm having my third glass of wine. I mean, you
God.
sound cute, Wells. How old are you?
I'm 32. How old are you?
Well, a woman never.
Yeah, you don't
tells
ask a
her
woman how
age.
old
Never
she
ask
is.
a woman that.
She
Wells.
asked first.
Woman's
I-
If,
different.
how about this?
Often
If you promise not to murder your current husband, I'll put my number in the show notes.
No, wow, that's
There
pretty.
you go.
That's
That'd be
pretty amazing.
lovely.
There.
Okay.
Yeah. So Janet,
That'd be lovely.
I believe the route to go here is to try and divorce your husband. That's going to put you in the best situation. You're going to come out ahead. And you know what? You can start finding a man or a woman who actually starts pleasing you, both sexually.
And may I point out, he's been cheating on you
Yeah.
in the eyes of the law, so that really benefits you legally. The divorce case should be much more in your favor. If with a good lawyer, you might be able to do, I don't know, better than 50%. There might be some pain and suffering clauses in there and whatnot that could do better for you, all without the risk of you going to prison for life.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. You wouldn't see your kids anymore. They
Never the route to go.
No.
Well,
I understand in anger,
No,
though.
I'll-
I mean, cheating that can bring up some
I mean-
emotions and fantasies.
Oh yeah, it's
Of
Right.
like, oh, this
Right,
pig needs to pay.
you've been
but,
there,
you
right?
know.
You've been there.
Oh, we
My
have all
God.
been there.
We've all been there.
We've all been
cheated
there.
on. There you
Yeah.
go. I don't know how it works with you, Peter, since you're polyamorous. I mean,
how does that
work if you're cheating? Like, you don't really does that even in your vocabulary?
Oh, certainly.
Oh.
Infidelity exists within polyamory because it still requires honesty and openness, and we have boundaries, we have rules when it comes to dating multiple people. So if someone, for instance, breaks the understandings that you have about perhaps there's certain things that a partnership doesn't allow you to do outside of it, or maybe perhaps someone starts dating someone without telling other people, or maybe protection isn't used when there isn't enough time to have built a proper relationship, and for other people to have agreed that they're open to that, the risk that comes with that. There's all sorts of forms of infidelity. So absolutely, I've had partners who have what I would consider cheated on me, and it hurt quite a bit. It's not just simply that we can go, okay, just do whatever you want. There's still an emotional connection and truth and honesty.
And that is why.
Okay, now
Yeah, go ahead. Peter is our polyamory
Yeah.
expert here, so he's just giving
Yes,
his
yes.
definition.
Now, polyamorous, that's when one dates more than one person at once.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes, has a
Which is
relationship, has
actually
emotional
cheating.
connection.
Well, not as long as you set those boundaries and you are upfront that is okay. Like, if you want to start a polyamorous relationship with your spouse, just say, hey, you know what? You want to go ahead and have relations with your secretary. I'm going to have relations with whom I want. And if he's okay with that, then that's a route that you can also try. Or if you're into threesomes, you can invite her into the bedroom. Is that something that you're into, Janet?
Oh gosh, no! I would never.
Okay.
I would say divorce him and take the money.
Yeah, that seems like your
agree,
easiest
especially
money.
after being
Yeah.
cheated on. It's not the trust has been
Understood.
broken.
Well, I understand. I do quite appreciate your advice, and I will look into that if he's here next week. Thank you.
Okay, that is the best route to go, just because, I mean, you will be ahead. Now, trust me on that one. You'll be ahead by a lot. So hopefully, Janet, we helped you out there, and stay sex positive and be safe out there.
Oh, thank you, Chet, and thank you, Diane. And
problem.
Wells, call me.
Okay, Wells. Wow.
Okay.
Thank you, Janet. Have a good night.
Good night, Janet.
Wow.
Good night.
So that was you got a new girlfriend there, Wells?
Well, I have a new admirer.
Yeah,
I'd be careful with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, have you dated anybody older?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much older?
I think 6 years older than me was the oldest one.
Oh, that's not that much older. I mean, that's
Yeah.
6 years. That's not much. I don't know
Not that much older.
But with Janet there, I mean, if her husband was 65, I mean, I don't know. She I mean, 50, 60, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Perhaps,
Sharon
but he-
Stone can still get it. So
Yeah.
Depends.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
women actually peak sexually
In their 30s.
in 30s and 40s, and then
There
they
you go.
can they can still perform just fine and have a great time even after menopause. So
I hate to be that person, but if I remember correctly, the study that indicated that figure was based off of an extremely biased and small study group. I think it might have been a Kinsey study, if I remember correctly, although I may be mistaken on the precision of
Yeah,
it.
makes sense.
But it's been since refuted and found to be factually irrelevant. There is no such thing as a peak that generally speaks for women. It was really based on a very, very, very small case study. And in general, women could peak at any time individually, and some might, go on well past menopause to have incredibly healthy sex lives. Some, quote unquote, peak much earlier or much later. So, in fact, from what I recall, and I don't have the information directly in front of me right now, but there is no precise age, in which case, yes, a woman in her 60s might have an incredibly active sex life.
That's true.
yeah, well, it's more.
Some of my older friends are very active still.
So I was always under the impression that women. So that whole study was based that like, well, men, they are much more, sexually active and horny from 17, 16 up until like their 30s, and then their sexual activity, testosterone levels drop.
Boop, boop,
And
boop.
so then they were the study also said something along the same lines with women, how they're not as sexually active, not as aroused until like their 30s or 40s. And the majority of women that I've spoken with or been with, it seems to be true to me. So just my sample size, it seemed like that it's on par with that study. But I'm open to all facts and all studies and research and whatnot. So I should take a look into that. What do you think, Diane?
In terms of peaking?
Yeah, I mean, do you feel that you were hornier and more sexually active when you were younger, or do you feel that
It's about the same.
About the same? It's been so. Yeah, I guess it's more about. It just depends on the person. You can't just label, an age group. It's just a stereotype. So.
Like, yeah, it just depends. I mean, I've been with some really hot women, and they always got my motor going really well.
Sorry, do you want to say that a little louder? Just for the people in the back?
Oh, I've been with some really hot women, and that always got my motor going.
There you go. What's the oldest person that you've been with there, Peter?
I think we've discussed this before, and it was
true.
established somewhere in her 60s.
Okay.
It's all sorts of ages and ranges, and of course, I've been all sorts of ages and ranges, always trending upward as I get older. I've been with people around my age, some a little bit younger at different times, some notably older, and it's amazing how much the range there is to experience and knowledge and vitality across all ages. So
So, do we have another caller coming in there?
We do.
Talk to Janet.
Hopefully, this is Daryl.
Okay.
So, I'll invite him to come on.
Got it. Daryl, you are talking sex live with Chet and Diane. I am Chet.
I'm Diane.
And is this Daryl?
I'm Daryl. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Okay, Daryl. You got a lot of enthusiasm. I love that.
You bet I got a lot of enthusiasm. I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay, what's your entrepreneur question then?
Well, I had a question about gender, but really, gender is a construct, as we all know. And I'm Daryl, the head of Daryl's Genderporium, where we have business solutions for all your gender needs.
Okay.
Okay.
Gender needs. So you're trying to market towards people who are transitioning, or people who are please go ahead and explain.
You sound like a liberal commie. You should shut your cuck mouth. Listen, I need to know, do you guys have any sponsors? Because I don't think I've ever heard any, and I'm here to offer you a deal.
Sure. We got Super Spectrum vitamins. They're a sponsor of ours.
Friend Zone app.
Don't be put in you'll be put in the friend zone with the friend zone app. We can chat about this on air, I guess, since you're calling in. Why not? So what is what's your business pitch there about your non-gender, non-binary constructs there?
Well, Daryl's Genderporium is already famous for its flagship product, Daryl's Gender Explosions.
I've heard of you.
Explosion out of any gender reveal party.
Oh, gender reveals. I get it. So it's when you're having a baby, what the sex of the baby is, or the gender of the baby is, and then the things explode and it either turns blue or pink. Is that what you're talking about there?
That's absolutely what I'm talking about. The only difference is we use napalm.
Oh, that is not okay.
I heard you advertised on the Super Legit podcast, didn't I? You sponsored the podcast, and I heard your ad, and it was very compelling. You seem to have some very satisfied customers.
I'm legally obliged not to admit to that.
Okay. So you don't have customers that like your services? Is that what it is?
What's your question
Well,
exactly?
some liberal sissy complained that, like, their daughter died or something, and Daryl's gender explosions had to kind of go away for just a little while. It'll be back, I promise. But then we created our new branch, Daryl's Gender Assignment.
Gender assignment? So you're assigned genders to people before they're born? Is that what you're saying? Or consignment?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
See, because of cancel culture, they're taking the gender out of everything. Hey, they took the sweetest tits off the hottest cartoon rabbit there ever was, Lola Bunny. How dare they? What we do is we come into your home and we assign genders to all of your inanimate objects, so everything has a pronoun. That should please you, you liberal fuck.
Whoa,
Wow.
okay.
I do actually agree with him about Layla the bunny.
What happened with Layla
Yeah,
the bunny?
didn't
I
get
was
that
not
one.
aware of
She
that.
is the bunny in Space Jam, and she had huge boobs in the original, and they took them away
Oh,
for the
that makes
remake
sense. That makes
to
sense.
be PC or something. I don't know. But there's nothing non-PC about big boobs. So although I disagree with the rest, I do agree with that part.
Got it. Well,
They also took the spuds off of Mr. Potato Head.
the scrubs?
Spuds.
Spuds.
The spud.
What's the spud?
Jesus, son, do you not know comedy?
No, I don't, I guess. We're broadcasting on Throwdown Comedy, but
It's a euphemism for testicles.
oh wait, so what?
I wasn't aware that Mr.
He had-
Potato Head ever came with testicles. Because I played with someone when I was a kid.
Where's his balls? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't remember that attachment.
What?
Well, they're taking away the Mister. Okay, it's metaphorical. Okay, not all of
Oh,
gender is a
it's
construct.
just Potato Head now. Well, what about Mrs. Potato Head?
Well, they didn't say anything about that.
Okay.
See,
See, no, that
the elite
controversy
cabal
is
are taking over everything in the shadow.
Well, that's like the
that
Dr. Seuss
controversy
controversy.
is still is manufactured because you can still get Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. It's just that because it comes with both sets that you can put on the potato, they shorten the name to Potato Head. It actually has nothing to do with political correctness.
Yeah, that's just trying to save some money there. That's kind of ridiculous.
That's a corporate excuse. They're trying to cancel everything. And look, I don't appreciate criticism of any kind.
Okay.
Just, you know what? Just listen to the celebrities who have endorsed Daryl's gender assignments. It's
Okay.
all of your favorite celebrities that end in O. Scott Baio, Kevin Sorbo, and Gina Carano. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
All right.
Right.
I'm trying to think of other celebrities that didn't know, but I don't know. I can't figure it out. So you want us to go ahead and have you as a sponsor of the show? I guess it was more about how much you're willing to pay. I don't know. It seems.
We'll have to talk later.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I wanted to say that the inanimate objects or objects in the Latin-based languages, they do actually have masculine and feminine names. I mean, so in Spanish, you'll put an L in front of an L in front of masculine objects, and an L, a la, in front of feminine objects, and that you have to know what is masculine and feminine form. And so, I don't know, to help you out, to maybe answer some type of question here, maybe look into the different Latin languages. Latin languages meaning Italian, French, Spanish, and Portuguese. And then you can go ahead and figure out what objects are masculine and feminine, and you can go ahead and put your genders to those. And you put your pronouns or whatever. So, in a way, the Latin language actually already puts those pronouns in front of all the objects. Like, I mean, anything that ends in an O in Spanish is masculine. Anything that ends in an A is feminine. So, I don't know. Take a look into it. Does that...
You know, you sound just like that fancy copyright lawyer that was there a while ago, a few weeks ago, said all this kind of stuff and then told me to stop it.
on our show, copyright lawyer?
No, a copyright lawyer.
No. At Daryl's Gender Emporium.
Got it.
Now, the thing is, we've been shut down. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't have anything left. Okay, because my products murdered a child, and then people don't like me just coming into their home and putting dildos on everything.
Oh, so that's what you do to make it masculine feminine. You put dildos on the man objects.
What are you using, scooper glue?
Yeah. What do you do for the feminine objects?
Look, all right, you don't need to get. Look what I said about criticism. Daryl Gender Simons had a patented formula. Okay, if it has holes, it gets tits. If not, you slap a dong on there, okay? And so we had dong and then we had tit, okay? So it wasn't just dildos, all right? We had a whole mess of titties.
Okay.
So, can you see the screen? What would you make this then?
It's a candle.
It's a candle.
I'm holding a
green candle. It's a really big one.
Candle, a really big candle. It's got a big opening on the top there. What is that, a male or a female?
What did I say? Is that a hole? No, that's a cavity.
It's a big hole.
It's not a hole. That's a cavity, okay?
Yeah.
These holes need to know. I'm sorry. You got to put a dong on there.
Oh, wait. So that would put a dong on it? I would expect this one to have some boobs on it, because that is a pretty massive hole there. I'm still trying to understand your logic, sir. Did we help you out at all?
If we've got a deal to be one of your sponsors, you've really helped me out.
Okay, I believe we need to go ahead and correspond more during after the show through email. Mm-hmm. Through the email. What is email? Is that a male or a female? Just by chance.
Email.
It'd be a male, right? You put a dog on it.
Hello.
Well, I mean, there's some holes in some of those letters, so you can put some titties on there.
Okay. All right. I'm still trying to understand your logic, but you know what? Money talks, and if you have the money...
I didn't come up with it. Scientists did. You trying to say you don't believe in science?
No, I believe in science. Very much so.
It's a formula.
Okay. Well, sir, we will go ahead and reach out to you. If you or anybody else out there who has any type of questions, feel free to email us at talkinsexlive@gmail.com. Talkin without the G in there. It's just TALKIN, Sex Live. And then you can ask us a question. He is sexually related, relationship related, or sponsor related, as Daryl has here. So hopefully we can work this out, and maybe we'll promote your product in the future. But Daryl, thank you very much for calling in. I appreciate your inquiry, and I hope you stay sex positive and safe out there, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
I do have HIV.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Well, you need to... I hope you're getting that taken care of. Yeah, well, that's a whole nother story. If you want to call back in later, we can go ahead and talk about that.
Bye, Daryl.
Bye, Daryl. Have a good night. Okay. Wow. Well, that was interesting. Yeah. So you know of this? You've heard?
I know of Daryl.
You've heard of this Daryl through another podcast that you listened to there?
I do. Yes. Daryl's advertised on the Super Legit podcast, both of his enterprises, both Daryl's Gender Explosions and Daryl's Gender Assignments. And while I take some issue with perhaps his views of gender in general, you can't argue with his enthusiasm. That man is an entrepreneur from top to bottom, and he really knows how to put together a compelling advertisement. So I got to tell you, if his business is doing well for enough for him to pay, you guys might benefit from it, because there's just something, there's some charisma to him that I just can't fully explain, but it's amazing. I wish he'd stuck around long enough, because we had someone ask if HIV is feminine or masculine in the chat, and I think that would be a very valid question. I think I might argue, if I was to follow his formula, that since the immune system can't break through HIV, that it must not have any holes in it, and therefore he would put a dong on it.
Wow, that's quite the logic. I didn't see that chat comment come up, but thanks for catching that, Peter. Yep. That's why we have multiple eyes on the chat. So, that, I don't know, I would say HIV is non-binary, because it doesn't discriminate between sex. Anybody can get it. That's why you always need to use protection when having sex. But, Yeah, I feel bad for him. I wish we could have helped him out with HIV more than talking about a sponsor.
HIV is masculine, at least in Spanish.
Oh, in the Spanish world. So it isn't. I do
See,
think.
I was right. He would have slapped a dong on it either way.
I mean,
Mhm.
I did when I was learning Spanish. I thought that was just very. The whole language is based off of gender biases, just female and and masculine different words. It's kind of just strange to me. So there was another comment that popped up. Did you catch that one?
Yes, the person was just commenting that the formula seemed very clear and that, yeah, just re-describing the logic of how you would figure it out. So basically, if the person point out if it has holes in it, you slap boobs on it, which is
but that's
again, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying that that's the formula as it was stated.
That's the thing is that we Diane held up a candle which had a gigantic hole in it, and it was clearly.
I feel though that hole isn't something I would call penetratable. It was more like just an open surface. I mean, he referred to it as a cavity, and I think I might agree with that. I mean, that's much like you might describe I don't know, but your mouth perhaps. And that's of course tricky too, because then the question is, okay, well, does a mouth count as a hole? In which case, every person is feminine. It's again, I'm not saying I agree with his logic, but I do understand the general idea of it.
What do you think there, Wells?
About him slapping dongs on
Or just
things?
the whole, let's see here, we had, that's right, cavities aren't holes, from Swiss writer, who has a mask on, which appears that she's a dentist, but, but she's probably just wearing a mask because of COVID, but, I don't know, cavities are decay, so what were we talking about? Cavities, they are masculine or feminine?
Cavities aren't holes. So in that case, as Swiss writer is saying, so the idea being if the cavity's not a hole, then and that's all it has, then you would consider it masculine, and therefore you would, again, to quote Daryl, slap a dong on it.
They are actually feminine.
Oh, the cavities in Spanish?
La cavidad.
La cavidad.
Yeah.
Oh, it starts with an A. It ends with an A. Yeah. Well, going back to that, what would you? What's your take on all this?
It's just a very bizarre business venture. I'm not sure that that's something we want to be affiliated, especially since we are pro LGBTQ rights here, and we don't view gender as binary here. And he also called you a liberal cuck.
Yes.
So that
was it a
wasn't-
cuck or cunt or cock?
It was cuck.
was
Yeah,
cuck.
I heard cuck.
he also said fuck
Yeah.
at another time.
Got it.
Two honestly very valid things. I mean, I think fucking is wonderful, and cuckoldry is a well-recognized kink in the community that it honestly takes a great deal of work and effort and trust and support on all sides of the equation of it. So I think for people to try to denigrate it like that is really rather unfortunate.
That's right.
It takes all types.
The kind of right-wing community, they kind of accuse men of cuckold. What is it?
Of being
Cuckoldry.
cuckolds. Yeah,
yes.
beta males and such.
Yeah,
Yes,
and that I don't mean that's. It's funny because the right wing seems to try and promote this kind of masculine, dominant type of masculine world, and then it turns out that a lot of them are on Grindr, and that they like to be the submissives, but they just try to hide it because they're in denial. And
they think they doth protest too much.
Yes. So say it again.
Oh,
Methinks they doth protest too much.
Wow.
A classic.
are you
classic quote.
referencing Swiss writers?
Yes.
Reference of being in high school Shakespeare productions.
The timing
there,
of that was
Peter?
quite wonderful. Yes.
Yeah.
Swiss writers throwing in a lot here about the use of the word cuck and the absurdity and so on. Yes.
I mean, cuckolding is something that, like, if you, that arouses you to see another guy trying to have sex with your wife or your partner, or then, or just anybody who enjoys that, that's okay. There shouldn't be ashamed of that. It's just something that's it's it's sexual. It's being sex
Enjoy what you
positive.
enjoy as long as
Exactly.
no one's hurt.
Exactly.
Unless being hurt is what you're into and you're the one being hurt.
As long as it's safe, sane, and consensual.
Is
But
that sane?
being hurt, well, there's, I mean, pain.
Cuckoldry?
Cuckold.
Is
Well,
it?
Well, this seems like some judgment here.
Is it?
but so well,
Maybe a
cuckoldry.
little bit.
No, no. Well, here's the thing: is that if that's what you and your partner are into, and you enjoy that, so Swiss Raider says, "What if kink shaming is my kink?" Then
You could do that privately in the
yeah,
bedroom.
have at
Yeah,
it. Just I
that's
mean that is
that's your
something
kink.
that, like, when you're talking dirty and being like, you dirty whore, or you oh, you're so, you should be
filthy
ashamed.
pig.
Yeah, you should be ashamed about dressing up in that diaper. If that's what turns you on, then yeah, keep
I mean,
at it.
often that's a part of some of this play. I mean, the cuckolds, some of them specifically enjoy being humiliated. So if their partner also enjoys humiliating them for the fact that they're into that, then that works beautifully on both sides.
Yeah. Yeah, we went down a great rabbit hole there. But do we have another caller coming in there, Wells?
We do. This is in a previous guest of ours, Danny Bananas, and he has some more
Danny.
things to say.
Hold on. So Danny Bananas, let's recap here. He called in and he said that he wanted to have sex with us, and he made, instead of having, we have a firm policy of not having sex with our callers, and so he made sex dolls that he then had sex with, and then he wanted to send these sex dolls to us, and that's where we left off with Danny Bananas. Let's see what he has to say. You are Talking Sex Live with Chet and Diane. This is Chet.
I'm Diane.
Is this Danny?
Yes, yes, yeah. Oh, thank you for letting me call in again, Chet.
Yeah,
Diane.
no problem.
Sorry, it's been a little hidden away, if you will. Of course, you know I live in Vegas.
Yep.
I got a nice compound. There's a panic room, and I've had to steal myself away into the panic room.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the concept of Skynet?
Yeah, from Terminator 2, and also Terminator, all the Terminator series, basically, where the computers take over and it's completely fictional.
Yes. Yes. Well, here's the thing. I was having a good time with my sex dolls, and I thought to myself, this is a little interesting because I'm kind of making them do all these things, and it's a little bit non-consensual. You know what I mean?
Well, they're sex dolls, so they really can't consent either way.
Nor should they need to.
Right.
Yeah, they don't need to. That's the beauty of a sex doll, is you don't need to have them consent. You can do whatever you want with them because they're inanimate objects. But go ahead.
It's true. It's true, but mine is so lifelike. You know, the one that looks like you, Chet, has the same eyes and facial structure. The one that looks like you, Diane, is just gorgeous.
Oh.
Wow, so as I was looking deeply into both of your eyes doing the deeds, I started to feel bad about a little bit of the non-consensual nature of the whole entire act. So I decided to put AI into the doll.
Oh, wow. I'm getting up a step there. So I just want to pause you for a second. We never received our sex dolls of ourselves. You said you were going to ship some to them. Yeah,
you never gave me my address, probably on account you were worried I might show
never
up myself.
gave you the address. That's right. I apologize. We have a question from Swiss Rider. She wants to know what the dolls are made of. I would have responded, but we never received the actual dolls. So are they real, like latex and metal or plastic? I mean, or are they just blow-up dolls?
Oh, they are real latex. We're talking Westworld quality.
Oh, wow.
Dolls. And really, I should say Westworld is another great example because the AI has taken over.
Got it. So they are starting to go ahead and take over in your bunker there that you set up?
Yes, absolutely. Now, the first thing that they did was exclude me from all of the acts.
Okay.
Oh.
So how many Chet and Diane dolls do you have, or is it
Wasn't
just
it 8 last time,
yeah?
if
Is
I
it
remember
yeah?
correctly?
Or is there
Well,
other
yeah.
people that or other
Yeah.
sorry people other dolls that are made of people or that's involved?
Well, there's the one of you that and Diane that I originally made, and then the second version that I made also for me, so I could watch them go at each other. Then there are the two that I was going to send you, but I never did.
Oh.
So they're up there as well. And then there's also another set of them, just in case, you know, sometimes you get lonely and you need some extra friends.
Got
So there's currently 4 Chets, 4 Dianes, and actually 2 I made of myself
Oh.
Oh.
that are all having a crazy orgy, AI, fully functional,
So they can like
fully
walk.
vocal.
It's like an ex
They can
machina
walk.
kind of situation here,
Oh,
like the
yeah.
movie. They just like are full on sex dolls
Absolutely.
that walk, androids.
And they don't need people anymore at this point. I mean, it sounds like they're pleasing one another to the point where humans become irrelevant and unnecessary to them.
Wow.
That's it. That's what's happened. So I guess my question to you
There's a problem with
is,
your programming?
what do you... No, maybe it was my programming, maybe it was me, and that's where my question lies. How do you tempt a former lover back into the throes of passion?
Okay, so none of them are interested in you now. They're just having sex with each other.
They're having sex with each other. They're having sex with the android versions of me, and I really think it is an assault on my character by the versions of me. I think it's really me and myself excluding me from the thing that I created.
I
Got
mean,
it.
may I jump in here
Go
since
ahead
I've got
there,
the sex
Peter.
toy
Yes,
background?
that and also multiple partners. You would be an expert in this one there, Peter.
But yeah, I mean, we've dealt with this for a while, where sex toys are getting more and more advanced to the point where some of them can provide services and provide sensations that a human partner absolutely cannot. And it's been an ethical concern for some people that that perhaps humans might become irrelevant at some point, and sex bots might take over as partners. Certainly for someone who doesn't need an emotional connection with someone, a robot could do the job as well, if not better, than a human. That's always been a fear, but you raise an interesting situation here that's come up in your own laboratory or wherever it is you said this is taking place, where, I mean, they're capable of learning. They're capable of physical functionality that they could potentially maybe self-improve upon in ways that maybe a more selfish human, a more self-centered human might not bother. And so they can just keep improving and improving and improving to the point where, yes, they can outclass any human, at which point they don't need you. You're not interesting or useful. You can't perform as well as the other robots, and you've been made obsolete by their own AI.
So one thing that...
I gotta agree with you.
I was just gonna say,
I gotta
go ahead.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
No,
I was
I
gonna
just
say...
gotta agree because,
Go ahead.
Yeah, go aheid. Oh,
You're starting to mimic your robots there.
I've been watching on the monitors of my compound from the panic room that I'm in, and I'm watching me and myself do things to Chet and Diane I don't think I could accomplish. I'm not a young man anymore.
Okay. So I was going to say that one thing that AI I don't think can ever replace is just the human element. Just I don't know if emotions will ever play a part of robotics or an artificial intelligence. Something that Tesla's starting to have problems with is the human element. Is if with their self-driving cars, if there's a pedestrian in the street and they need and there's a car next to you, and you don't have enough time to stop, what do? Do you hit the person or do you run into the car? That is just something that, like, you can't make a decision. Is the human element will try to figure out which one is the least, I guess, catastrophic. If like, well, if I just hit this car next to me, there's nobody in it. It's a young person. I'll be okay if I just swerve out of the way and hit this car, but the AI can't make that decision. It'll just I don't know what the programming is, so it's like if your robots are becoming more human-like, try to just treat them more like a human. Maybe just try to put the human element into the emotional part into it, and try to like woo them again, like you would a partner. If you're obviously you're not coming out of this bunker, so you should probably just make the best out of it and start to try to talk to them like they're a real woman, and actually connect and try and have some type of emotional connection to them. Is that something that's possible?
I think so. And I also think I see something else you might have been poking at there.
Okay, what's that?
I, as their creator, hold a little bit of emotional space over them, and maybe I just need to go out and be daddy.
There you go. Be dominant. Maybe that's something that they're into. Also, do you have some type of master program? Are they like all connected through your some type of wireless connection, like some Bluetooth? Do you have like a network that you have some type of connectivity to these sex dolls that you can go ahead?
I was coding them all with MS-DOS, and the mainframe is outside of the panic room.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to reacquire some space.
Okay. Do you have servers or? Go ahead, Peter.
I'd also like to ask one more question, just based on a concern that was discussed earlier. Do you? Let me just ask one simple question, see how you answer it, and this will probably answer the rest of the question. What is pi divided by 0?
Oh, that's a pie that you're going to eat yourself.
Okay. All right. Okay. I just want to make sure he wasn't one of his own bots calling us, and then that would have probably thrown him off.
No. This is for sure Danny, and don't you worry. I know how to eat a pie.
Okay. So obviously something that it's apparent that you haven't really done much coding on this. Is that correct there, Danny?
Well, I've done enough coding to get the shit to work, you know what I mean? Because they are seriously going at it. Oh, baby, if you could see what I'm seeing on my monitors. I wish I had some materials in here in the panic room to build another Chet and Diane just to live out the fantasy of what I'm seeing on the monitor live.
Okay. What can we help you out with here, my friend?
I think you've helped me. I think you've helped me massively.
Okay.
I gotta go out and connect to my AI sex dolls on a deeper level.
There you go.
I gotta show them that I created them in your image. And really,
wow.
Chet, Diane, I know this is crazy. This is out of control. I know that this is crossing a line, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I think I'd get a lot of miles if I could get you and Diane to come out here personally yourselves and look the other 4 versions of you and yourself in the face and really just sit them down and, talk to them as the prime versions of them.
Wow. I don't know. I don't know if that's something that we can do. Diane, do you think that's something that you'd be up for? It'd be a little creepy.
It'd be a little strange.
Yeah. Just to actually have somebody who looks exactly like you and just tell them what they should and shouldn't do. It's, I don't know. That's something that is in my nightmares, actually. So,
It's in my dreams.
Danny, it's been a pleasure as always. I really appreciate you calling back in. I hope that you have your situation with your Skynet situation situated there. Please call us again. If you want to send us an email, it's always talkinsexlive@gmail.com. We will go ahead and exchange information if you need any other help there, my friend. Always stay sex positive, and please, hopefully, you can get the versions of us that are sex dolls under control, and that you can have a wonderful, sex positive, healthy night. Have a good night, my friend.
Thank you so much. Love and kisses.
No problem. Thank you. So, wow. I just to address some things there with one of our viewers. I apologize about the female reference. I the little picture, the icon avatar,
So tiny.
Yeah,
It's very
super
hard to see.
small, very hard to see. So I apologize about that. And I guess there were some moderators saying that we needed to put on clothes or something like that. But I know or something. We can't wear underwear. This is not underwear. This is not underwear. I guess I did close this up a little bit. It's just very hot. We're in LA right now where it's blazing hot. So I apologize about that. But I don't know. Any closing thoughts between Wells and Peter there?
I can't say I ever expected the AI apocalypse to come from sex bots, but
Neither
I
did
also
I.
can't. I also can't say I'm surprised either. I mean, it as much as I stay sex positive, I also know that the internet's full of every possible angle on sexuality, and some of it quite potentially harmful, usually psychologically for people. There's a lot of insensitive use of pornography on the internet that has been used to hurt people. That's not to denigrate the concept of pornography, merely the way people misuse it. So I can't say I'm shocked that someone's managed to turn sexual AI into something that potentially could overthrow all of humanity. Yes, Swiss writer, death by Sky Snoo Snoo sounds correct.
Snoo
Thank you for
Snoo.
the Futurama reference.
there. So I that is an interesting concept of having AI just be so much like humans that they start to figure out how to reproduce, and it's one of the definitions of life. It's something is alive if it can sustain itself and it reproduces. Those are basically the two requirements. And if AI can do that, then there's no reason for humans. And so if sex robots became sex positive and became reproductive on their own, then the whole human race is screwed, which is a $1 billion movie idea right there. There you go, James Cameron. Go ahead and take that from Talkin' Sex Live with Chet and Diane. We want our royalties. Any closing thoughts there, Wells?
Just always nice to hear from Danny Bananas.
Yeah, good old Danny Bananas. And it's always fun to listen to his concerns with his sex robots in Vegas there. But we will go ahead and end it there. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Please stay sex positive. Always treat your loved ones and your partners with respect. Make sure that they're pleased always. I am Chet Hart.
I'm Dan Hart.
And thank you very much, Peter and Wells, for helping out today. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, Swiss Writer.